So I've gotten a lot of questions recently from people asking which exercises they should do and how they should choose exercises if they want to improve their vertical jump. Is it a front squat? Is it a back squat? Is it a split squat? Trap bar deadlift? A barbell deadlift? And the real answer is that it probably doesn't matter. In the vast majority of situations, there's no weight room exercise that has such a high degree of transfer to sports performance that makes any exercise inherently superior to any other exercise. So I'm going to lay out a guide on how to choose the best exercise for you in your situation. So when trying to decide what exercise is best for you, these are the things that should be considered, and they're not in any particular order. Number one is repeatability. Can you perform the exercise with consistent technique so it doesn't look like a different exercise each rep? Having repeatability within an exercise allows you to get a consistent stimulus. An easy example of this is if you're choosing to deadlift, making sure rep 1 doesn't look like a regular deadlift, rep 2 looking like a stiff leg deadlift, and rep 3 looking like a hybrid between a squat and a deadlift. Next thing to consider when you're choosing an exercise is optimal loading. Optimal can mean different things depending on the person and their goals, but to me, optimal typically means can you load the exercise heavy. This is why for me, I typically like to Hatfield squat and Zercher squat. I can go heavier on a Hatfield squat compared to any other type of squat, and if I want to squat with an anterior load, a Zercher squat is the best way to load for me. Next point of consideration when choosing an exercise, does the exercise allow for efficient movement? What I mean by this is the exercise shouldn't need much cueing or intervention from a coach for quality execution. In a way, this relates to the repeatability point. The next point is the exercise should target global and holistic adaptations. Or depending on your goal, the exercise targets the necessary muscles and joints that need to be trained. And then lastly, is the exercise easily adaptable? Is it conducive to variation? Can you perform tempo reps or pause reps? Can the exercise be performed in shorter or longer effective ranges of motion? Could you include accommodating resistance if you wanted? Could you easily manipulate different parts of the exercise to allow for variation? So when you're choosing an exercise, just ask yourself, does the exercise allow for repeatability, optimal loading, efficient movement, variability, and global adaptations? If the answer is yes to all of those questions, it's probably a good selection. So hopefully that information is helpful. As always, thanks for watching the video. Hit the like button if you can and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.